can't tell you what a thrill it is to see something that you've made a long time ago survive, and here it is. My impressions of China, I've been twice to Chengdu and Chongqing, and the one thing that really stands out for me is how quickly the new developments and the new cities have sprung up. It's like magic. You have all the old cities, and then all of a sudden new buildings, big tall buildings, and in here we have the river, and that's kind of separating a lot of the older Chongqing to the new side. And we're on the new side looking across the river. So it's real apparent to me how new China and old China are coming together so quickly. I've noticed a lot of similarities between Chengdu and Chongqing, and a lot of that is how quickly they have become major urban cities. I've heard that a lot of the areas that we're staying in have just come up in the last 10 years. And along with that comes all the infrastructure, all the roads, all the beautiful landscaping is very, very impressive to me. Honestly, I think this is some of the best work we've ever done. And I think a lot of it comes from getting real specific input. And I was able to preview last night with the team, and it looked like they really loved it, so it made me feel great. Well, one thing I notice a lot about Chinese hospitality is it's very true. I've had the good fortune of seeing a lot of countries and meeting a lot of people. And one thing that comes through all the time, it seems like in China, people are out of their way to be nice to me. I mean, so friendly. And I notice friendly to most visitors. And me coming has been a real eye-opener, and I really appreciate that. I think the main thing that I liked about working with Sunac and Hannah and her team was they were very specific in what they wanted. And what that means is it makes our time much more useful. I don't have to guess what they really want. They told me what they want. That makes it so much easier for us to come to a good graphic solution without messing around with a whole lot of other things that they don't want. So I really appreciate them for that. It's going to be a landmark. It's going to be the biggest building around. We've seen the site where it goes, and it will totally dominate the landscape right in that area. So it's very exciting to work on an identity for a landmark, because that means the landmark and its identity will be around for a long time, a lot like the Apple logo I had the good fortune of designing. The A1 Tower will be one of the tallest buildings in China, a point of pride and a beacon for the city of Chongqing, the province of Sichuan, and all of China. The tower's sweeping lines represent the site where the Jialing and the Yangtze rivers converge. It's the most distinguishing feature of the building and represented symbolically in our icon for the brand. The similarities between Apple and Sunac is Sunac needs a global identity, which means they are interested in having an English name that gets a lot of notice. And Apple was a new company with a strange name, and it was a challenge to do something that would be memorable. And that's kind of a similarity, doing something that's very memorable for a new company, being very memorable for a company that wants its identity to be more global and more worldwide in the English language. The wonderful thing about what we get to do is not have to deal with words. We're dealing with images, and people have their own interpretation of what they see as opposed to what they read. So that's the thing that I think is most satisfying about working graphically across different cultures. You can step on a lot of toes when you don't really know the culture. It's great to be able to communicate visually and cut through all of those cultural barriers. One of the things I really like about working internationally is getting a chance to meet so many different people from so many cultures and try to interpret that into a graphic form. And it's very challenging, but at the same time, it's very satisfying to be able to communicate graphically without using words and have it universally understood. Well, I would like to see our company having a lot of opportunities in China, because that's one of the things I'm noticing most. There's so much new building going on and so many people involved in new enterprises.